Mecha Strikers is a League of Legends meets Rocket League football mobile game created by Odyssey Interactive, which was founded by ex-Riot game devs. The game is referred to as a foot brawler by the devs. Football plus brawling. Personally speaking, I like to think of it as air hockey, but whatever. The gameplay is simple, but it's hard to master. The objective is to get the puck, or known as the core, into the opponent's goalpost. A lot of the characters have abilities that combo into each other. Such examples such as Juliet, combining her secondary and primary ability, applies more force. What's great is that almost all strikers have movement options in the form of haste or blinks and dashes. The game has two roles, goalie and forward. Almost all of the characters are flexible enough to play either role. A great example of this is Asher. Her primary ability, Barrier Beam, it grows larger and unbreakable on your side, making it a defensive tool that can protect your goal or be used against the enemies to eliminate them. This is based on how you want to play her. I find it great that the game gives players choices and let them enjoy the game for how they want to play. Players can select gears before a match starts. Forwards can choose between from brawling or mobility gear. Slide kicks grant movement speed when striking the core, which is good for players who want to control the core. Another option would be pummelers. It grants extra knockback towards the enemies and gives movement speed when the enemy is eliminated, which is easier due to the extra knockback. Rewards aggressive plays. Combining gears with the augments, or referred as to awakenings. They offer bonuses, and the game randomly selects 2 awakenings such as 1-2 punch. Deals more damage when hitting the same unit in a short period of time and rewarding combining abilities together. Almost all augments can be equipped to a striker, while there are exceptions such as Juliet not being able to use Deadeye because her kit doesn't have any projectiles. It's great to see that there's tons of flexibility. In normal/ranked game modes, the other awakenings can be earned through gameplay based off of performances. Example of this is MVP being first pick. The selection of awakenings are randomized. This allows people to play characters in different ways in every game. I quite like this as it adds a lot of replay value, and I like the strategy involved. Even if you don't get a desired awakening, there is a chance to take an enemy's perk and making them pick something else, even with their initial growth, such as promoting their game with Studio Trigger and Alfred. Player count still decreased over time, causing Odyssey to announce
Despite our best efforts
in a YouTube video that they're no longer gonna have any major updates such as skins, strikers, and etc. The reason as to why is maybe because of the unforgiving nature of the game. An example of this is player positioning. It matters a lot within this game, as not only do you have to secure the core, but also be mindful of enemy players. Their hits causes player knockback. It can disrupt player tempo or even get you eliminated. What's unfortunate is that the tutorial teaches the bare minimum. I felt like they should have made advanced tutorials, such as how Rocket League got them, except where you learn your character combos and interactions with the core. Even if it's just with the low difficulty characters, I think it still would have been good to have. Regardless of these issues, I personally believe and agree with the devs despite the shortcomings of Omega Strikers. They did their absolute best with resource they had, especially once factoring this game is on mobile and all of the major platforms. I really appreciate the characters' designs and the map designs. They're all unique and all feel different. It seems to me that the developers have learned from their experience and are planning to have their next game take place in the Omega Strikers universe. I don't expect their next game to be a top-down game, as they said it's hard to market one. It's great to see that the devs are still planning on giving this game micro patches. It's just a rare sight to see a game getting continued support despite its decline. It's common in the industry for companies to stop supporting their products, like what happened to Battlerite. I would say that Omega Strikers ended on a good note. While it's not ideal for the game to have any major updates, I do understand why, as I believe adding new characters wouldn't help the game grow that much. I'm quite glad to experience this wonderful game. It contains some hidden depth that I personally accomplished. It feels really amazing to discover those mechanics within the game. Overall, I quite enjoy Omega Strikers and would recommend trying it out. What's nice about this is that you can still expect small updates, which will keep the game in a much more healthier state. Great to see that the servers will stay up for the foreseeable future, and if they ever do shut down the game, they do have plans to preserve it. I would recommend joining their Discord, as it's the best way to play Omega Strikers.